I got bad news for Baylor men's basketball. Langston Love will be out this weekend, and he is doubtful for the NCAA tournament. He must have re-injured his ankle or done something else. That's the only explanation I have to say. He must have done it in practice because he played in that Texas Tech game on the road in the season finale, in the regular season. And he didn't play in the Big 12 tournament, as we all could tell. So, I'm just saying, I want to go over his numbers real fast. He's 6'5", 210 pounds at guard. He's a redshirt sophomore. Because remember, that first year he had the redshirt because of ACL injury right before the season began. The same year that Baylor had Kendall Brown and Jimmy Sohan. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. So he averages 11 points per game, 2.9 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists per game, 0.2 blocks per game, 0.4 steals per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 1 turnover per game. From the floor, he is 46.5% on 187 attempts, 48% on threes on 75 attempts, 78.3% on free throws on 69 attempts. He's one of 6 double-digit scorers for Baylor. So, and he's a 6 man, but he plays like a starter. And he probably would be starting elsewhere in the entire country. Nearly everywhere else. I'm just telling the truth. And the dude has not caught a break. I mean, like I said, first true season at Baylor, 2021-2022. Tore his ACL right before the season. Then last year, that fluke eye injury. And he couldn't play in the NCAA tournament. He's not going to even play in the NCAA tournament for the first 2 rounds. And that is if Baylor gets past the first round, mind you, against Colgate. Which I don't think it's going to affect it enough for that game's outcome for Baylor to lose. But I'm just saying, you got to get through that game first. Then obviously, if Baylor wins that game, they'll play New Mexico or Clemson. And it could impact that game as well, but we have to wait and see. And like I said, I'm just thinking about this game coming up first. Because anything could happen in March Madness and all this. And I'll just address this again next week if Baylor's still in the NCAA tournament by that time. That's the thing. I gotta wait. And it's unfortunate that he's out. But you got to think about long-term play for him. He's got 2 more years of eligibility. First of all, he does. And this is him like pending transfer portal. I don't think he's going to leave, but I'm just saying, you never know these days. You got to think about the long-term play for him and all this. So he's just been injury prone his career. And now this. And remember, before that Texas Tech game, he didn't play until since February 20th game against BYU on the road. Prior to that Texas Tech game, so 1, 2, 3, 4 straight games without him. So this is nothing new on Baylor playing without him. It is nothing new. Even if you could say, starting that Kansas game and then he went at home against Oklahoma and played Kansas at Kansas, then Oklahoma at home, then West Virginia on the road. They played without him then too. So they're fine in terms of playing without him. So in terms of experience, yes, it does impact the game some. I get it. But you got to also remember, the Big 12 is the hardest men's basketball league, according to Ken Palm or net rankings. You can't deny that. So, and remember, with that Langston Love, they almost beat Kansas at Kansas, which I get Kansas is down this year. They almost beat Houston at home. I mean, literally a free throw away. Make that free throw in regulation, Baylor wins the game. I mean, I'm just telling the truth, and I'm not going to say they're going to beat Texas Tech or on the road or anything like that. I don't know. They even beat Kansas at home when Kansas had Kevin McCullough. So, I'm just telling the truth. in all this. And they came back against Texas, and I know Texas is not as good this year compared to last year. I mean, I'm just saying some examples right there. So, and I'm not gonna say Baylor would be BYU at BYU either. I'm not gonna say that because they just got down too much at one point and they climbed back. They had a lead, but then once BYU got on the Baylor tied the game again. BYU went on the run, and Baylor didn't have an answer. So I'm just saying, just those two particular games, I just didn't see a way. Even if there was no way that Baylor would have won that game. But Kansas at Kansas, yes. Houston at home, yes. That's just two games right there, and I'm not going to say Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament, by the way. I'm not even going to say that. I am not, because the way they shot that game, they were not going to win, and the defense, Iowa State was making shots. That's the thing. And this definitely means more minutes for Miro Little. He's got to play more minutes now. And Jalen Bridges might have to play that third guard spot a little bit, besides the power forward spot like the 4. And put when Caleb Love's in the game. Not Caleb Love, Caleb Lohner. But you get the whole point. And then it's somebody at center. So other players got to step up now. And we know Ray J. Dennis has stepped up at times. We have seen it. Jay Nunn as well. And I know and Jacoby Walter too. So it's going to be a little bit more on their plate in terms of the guards right there. But you get the whole point. And if you want to include Jalen Bridges as a guard, fine. But he's technically a forward. But you get the whole point. He's a perimeter guy. So I'm just going to leave it off right here. And this is just a basic explanation on the impact he would have had. He was a 6th man. He would make the difference for the team. More guard depth. That's the truth. And overall depth would be better. And look at all those numbers what I said too. It's the truth in all this. Baylor's just going to have to be ready without him. Like this game coming up. And like I said in that preview, I was uncertain that if he was going to play or not. And I said at the time, the plan was for him to play. But I said, even if he doesn't play, you got to have other guys step up. You got to have other guys step up now. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal. It's 1,000 more. So we make money off this course. Liking the video, comment the video really helps YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well.